Hello everyone and welcome to the Karmic Wheel, a monthly tarot forecast. As you can see, I have changed the name of this offering from Holding the Light to the Karmic Wheel. And that's because in 2026, we're actually in a Wheel of Fortune tarot vibration. This also means that there are two other characters in the mix here, which is the Magician, represented by the number 1, and the Fool, represented by 0. And the number 10, of course, being the Wheel of Fortune. If you want to know a little bit more about the global collective vibes of 2026, head over to my Substack, and the offering is already uploaded on that platform. I will put a link on the description of this one so you can head over there and watch that one. Now, I was going to do this whole summation of 2025, what came true, what didn't, etc. And you know what? I kind of didn't feel like recapping 2025. And I feel like a lot of people are in that same vibration. We're so glad 2025 is done and over with. I'm recording this on December 28th, but it will be uploaded on the 1st. So if something happens between then, I'll do a supplemental. Well, no, I won't do anything. I'll just put something maybe in the description box, updating this if I need to. But yeah, I feel like everyone's just really happy 2025 is over with. And remember, that whole energy was about holding the light, hold the light, hold the light, hold the light, as we saw all of this disgrace happening, not only in the United States, folks, worldwide. Now, the karmic wheel. So we're going to see some cause and effect energy in 2026, because it is the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune, of course, representing the Wheel of Destiny and the Wheel of Fate, which has this tinge of karma to it, right? So, I like to keep these short and sweet, but I did want to just remind everyone that we're going to be working with this energy of the karmic wheel. And this means that what we do, how we behave, our moral aptitude, our virtues are going to be having a reflective energy this year. And specifically for the month of January, we're dealing with these arcana of the Wheel of Fortune that is really kind of asking us to not control the energies too much. Let it ride, right? So let's go on to the next slide so you can see who the players are for January 2026. So here you'll see on the screen the three major players of January, which is the Wheel of Fortune, the Magician, and Justice. And remember what I'm titling this. This is the karmic wheel. So the fact that Justice is here, boom, right at the beginning of the year, I don't know, but we're going to see some things, right? So when I look at these three combinations, my immediate impression was that there's going to be some sort of quick movement, because the Wheel of Fortune also represents movement. And there's going to be a quick movement, perhaps even a revolutionary one, that impacts the world in some way. I don't know what this is, but there's a sense that I got of manipulation going on with communication to the world because of that Magician archetype, and then Justice coming in to provide some sort of boundary, some sort of guardrails, if you will, to this whole energy that's happening in January. Now, the Wheel of Fortune has often been associated with this aspect of change, like I said, movement. Sometimes it's a revolutionary movement because we think that what comes up must come down. That energy of what comes up must come down it's revolutionary in a sense that, yeah, your actions are going to have consequences, right? And the Wheel of Fortune has this energy of an extreme expression of change. Because when we think of what comes up must come down, those 2 points are extreme points, right? So in a sense, we have to look at how the wheel is turning. Everything that is upside down in our lives can be turned the right side up, right? But it also allows us the opportunity to recover from changes because we know that what goes around comes around. So if we've been in changes that are uncomfortable, we're going to have a different kind of change that's going to make us feel comfortable. And this is on a global collective scale, right, that I'm speaking about this. But you can also take that down to the individual level. So the Wheel of Fortune here really is here to teach us this month of what is it that you value, what belief systems that you hold in your life are experiences that have made you feel elated or down in the dumps, right? So it's really going to be a matter of you choosing. So I'm going to also add that the impression that I'm getting in January is that people are going to start to really evaluate what it is that they do honor in their world and what it is that they do value. And it feels like it's the spirit of unification, the spirit of understanding, of morality, of this wanting and desiring to have well-being for all of humanity. So we've been seeing a very selfish energy going around the world. And let's see what happens, because we've got in the mix here this month this magician energy. And the magician has the power and the skill sets to sort of manipulate the public, manipulate the audience, right? That's what the magician does. And on a collective scale, global scale, this energy, which by the way, the magician is ruled by Mercury, so expect some big announcements, right? But I would caution that this may be for the purposes of manipulation. So we have to be very sort of careful here and stay in the space where we're not trying to control every narrative, because that's going to lead to unfortunate circumstances, right? Like fortune is always going to favor the bold. And the bold for me is the individual or groups of people that can stay in their heart center, right? That can stay in that space where they understand that they are a free spirit, a free soul, and no amount of manipulation can control them. Now, when we see this beautiful energy of the justice coming in also in January, and it's very quickly, it's centered around this concept that we have been desiring, which is to see justice being done, and justice for those that have been victims, and justice for those that have committed crimes. And those that have been committing crimes and not wishing fortunes upon others are going to see a real engagement with karma, because justice is a symbol of righteousness. It's a symbol of the cosmic harmony. It's the symbol of cosmic law and order. So when you have this powerful symbol together with the Wheel of Fortune, we're going to see this karmic wheel playing out right in front of our eyes, right from the get-go. And again, it's an energy of this Wheel of Fortune of what comes around goes around. What goes up must come down. And of course, if we're seeing it from that more challenging perspective, justice could represent that It's something that's misaligned, or that feels really, really wrong. Something that is totally untrue, unfair, coming to the forefront with that magician right next to it, manipulating the narrative, right? So that's on the negative scale, on the negative vibration. Nevertheless, we, you and I, have to remain positive. We must remain in the frequency of the heart. And one of the things that the Wheel of Fortune is going to teach us throughout all of 2026 is to let go of this desire to control and look at every little perspective out there. Even the ones that we know are fooling us, are tricking us, are not giving us the truth. We're spending way too much energy and time in that vibration. We've got to come out of that and stick with our morality and our principles, and also our instincts, which tells us, hey, this isn't true. I'm not going to feed it anymore, right? So remember, fortune this year is going to be unfavorable for those that are using the magician archetype in a negative frequency to manipulate. And the opposite is true. When you're kind, when you're doing it for purposes of entertaining, right? For joy, for happiness, meaning using that magician archetype, remembering that you are the magic, then your wheel of fortune is going to be quite prosperous for you. Remember that you are a magical being and that you are capable of creating a world that is fair and just, which is the frequency of the Justice card. So on a global collective scale, let's see what's going to happen. But on a personal level, remember to act with the principles that you live by, with those moral virtues that you have, and stay on that path. That's really going to be important throughout the whole year of 2026, to be on the path of the karmic wheel that is going to be favorable to you and provide you with fortunes, because you're bold enough to stay in the frequency of love when everyone else, those who think they're in power, are going to be staying in the frequency of manipulation and harm. So be bold, stay in your heart center. Happy New Year, everyone. Many blessings, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.